Hi, this is Fix It John. Today we'll be changing the oil on an '07 Duramax diesel. You can do it and I'll show you how. Alright guys, this is what I got to change my oil filter, my oil today in my Duramax. I got Dello Chevron. I got two of those online. Cost me like 11 bucks a gallon. API service CK4 SN 1540. Also had some leftover Super Tech from Walmart. It's also 1540. Same API rating. API CJ4 SI4 SN. Same stuff. Have some rubber gloves, a Baldwin oil filter, part number B1441, oil filter wrench for my oil plug, drain plug, 16 millimeter for that Duramax. Also have some oil stickers to remind you when to check your oil. And all this, well, the oil filter cost me like 38, 39 bucks online. I also needed a bigger oil drain pan to catch my oil, but obviously this here is so shallow, and the reviews online were super crappy. But knowing that before I bought it, I figured I'll cut a hole, a big circle hole in it, so to drain the oil straight in. Alright guys, I just turned my 1-star oil drain pan from the reviews I saw online to a 5-star. I cut that shallow drain pan out, and I still have a place for my oil filter, which they say a drain plug, but I'm going to use it for my oil filter, and a vent here that I'll use for my drain plug. There's a place here actually for a drain plug, but I can use either or. So yeah, pretty nice for like $12 at Walmart. The one I saw online that I wanted was a Lyle for like 38 bucks, but I think this will do the job. Okay, so what I've done, I brought the operating temperature up to its normal operating temperature, 210 degrees. And that's where you want to change your oil. It could be, 180, 190, 170, your operating temperature. But you want to bring it up to operating temperature before you change the oil. That way the oil is thinned out and will run out and flow more garbage out with it. Okay, the first thing I do is open the oil fill cap here so it'll breathe when you drain the oil out. Otherwise it'll go plop, 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 and just leave it on there lightly so no bugs or nothing can fall down into your crankcase. I know I told you to use good oil filters. I was in a pinch, so I used this Fram. I think I've had like 2 or 3 Frams on it over 200,000 miles, so I rarely use that. I usually use a Wix or a Baldwin. But this is looking from the rear end of the engine, and your drain plug will be on the left side. Left side's always the driver's side. So you just loosen it up and just hope it doesn't splash out. And just undo the plug. This is hot, so don't let it touch your skin. Put this up here. And it's draining beautifully. I'm moving over to the oil filter. Let's see if we can see it here. There it is right there. And I'll get a filter wrench on it. The only time I use a filter wrench is taking it off. Not putting it on. I just crank it, I think they say after the gasket hits the bottoms out, just turn it half turn or one more turn. and let that drain out some. And just unscrew it the rest of the way with my hand, hoping I don't get anything on me. Being very careful, pulling back as I turn so it doesn't just drop out. Pulling my hand off. There it is. And a little oil will come out. This is basically a $38, $39 oil change. At the shop, maybe $125. I don't think I've had, last time I had my oil changed, it was a $99.99, and that was like 2008. It's 2019 right now, so I really don't know how much it is. I don't change the oil but every 4,500 to 5,000 miles in this. So myself, particular and persnickety, so I want to get all the oil out. As you see right now, I don't need a lift, but watch what happens when I put the floor jack under it. Okay, this is just a look from the outside of it to see that it's jacked up, to get all the oil out of it. And I'll show you what to do when you do that, because if you add 10 quarts, which it requires 10 quarts, if you add 10 quarts, you'll be short a half quart or so. So I'll show you how to rectify that. Okay, it's pretty much done there. Just a drip, 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 like I said. But for now, we'll leave the drain plug off of it, and I'll show you what I do next. All right, we're gonna lower it back down. Now I will add some oil to it. That way when we do add oil to it, 10 quarts will do it. What I'll be doing is I'll be pouring oil through the top port, and it'll push any old oil on out, but also bring it up to the normal refill line. Okay, I just poured 1 quart through it. And as you can see, it's still pushing the old stuff out, which is a good thing. And we'll sit and let that drain a minute. Alright, before I put the oil filter on, I always check my funnel to make sure the funnel's clean, and I fill the oil filter up. That way you get oil throughout the engine a lot quicker. It gets to your turbo a lot faster, so you don't do any damage, unnecessary damage to your turbo. That's what keeps it lubricated. Okay, take you on a little ride to the filter here. We'll look down in there. See? It's probably about, well, let's see if we can get in there good. Maybe an inch below the surface. So that's not bad. Okay, at this point, the oil filter housing has quit dripping, so what I'll do is I like to take a clean rag and wipe the ring off here. Make sure the new filter adheres and seals good. Not really a big deal here, but just what I like to do. Then I'll take the oil filter that I filled up It's probably about a inch and a half below the top line, so we should be pretty safe on putting it on. And just a little drip. Come on, baby. There we go. A little slippery. Just putting it on by hand. There, it's bottom. It's the seal has hit the housing, the filter housing. So I'll give it another good turn and a half. Turn maybe. That's about a turn. Just with my hand, wipe it off so it doesn't collect any dirt. Make sure it's on there. Pretty much done, and this is what it looks like after I poured a clean quart of oil through it. Still black. And then I pull my drain plug back out, and there again I like to wipe it. I have new washers, but this one I usually don't change them. I mean, I've got a whole box of them, but I usually don't change them. And you can get them on Rock Auto. You see that copper washer? I used the original one for 190,000 miles, 180,000 miles, and I just started to have needing to replace them. So, you know, it's a copper washer. I think it comes with an aluminum washer from the factory, and it lasted forever. It comes off, just slips off. It's adhered to it right now, but it just slips off. And I also like to wipe the ring off here. There, it's at a drip. I like to wipe the ring off to make sure there's no dirt on it that I'll push back in. And remember, if it doesn't thread, if it doesn't go on easily, you don't have it threaded properly. You really don't have to kill it. Just give it a little torque and she's done. Now we'll go top side and fill it up. That's the easiest part. And I like to clean all the oil off, that way it doesn't collect dirt. Okay, so we ended up using about a half a quart to fill that oil filter up, and it didn't fill it all the way up. But put the rest of this chevron in here. That'll make 4 quarts. And you want to use a wide mouth funnel. And I'll show you how I dispose of my filters. I take my oil filters and oil back to the auto parts store. They recycle the oil, don't charge you anything. Okay, I want to do a little comparison here with the oil to see if either one's cleaner or dirtier. Chevron looked cleaner. That looks pretty clean. Now let's use the same color cap. And we'll put the Walmart oil in it. Okay, I really can't tell a difference with the naked eye. Like I said, you have three major refineries in the U.S., so the oil is all coming from about the same place. So if you want to spend more money on oil, you can. I used to, so I learned differently. Like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Fix It John. You can do it, and I'll show you how.